When it comes to standout performances this season, this was their best?
Yes, and I think it's the best not only on what they did, but what they forced Spurs to do. They reduced Tottenham to be a team that was just kicking people around the field. That's what they made of Spurs. It became so clear that Manchester City was so superior that Moussa Dembele was kicking everything that was around him because he couldn't get close to anybody. That you have Harry Kane doing the tackle that he does, that you have Dele Alli doing the tackle that he does. A team that we consider to be a very good team in the Premier League was reduced to being just a team that was trying to make it ugly. We all know that when you cannot play, or you're not good enough to play against a team, when you cannot create opportunities, when you cannot hold on to the ball, the one last thing that you have to do is say, well, we might as well kick them. And we will see what comes of this. That's what Spurs became. And that all came because of Manchester City's ability to just not only hold on to the ball, but do something with the ball once they have it. They can be direct when they want to. They can be quick on the counter when they want to. They can slow it out if they want to. The possession of the ball is there. The change of pace is there. And then in the end, you have individual performances. It's easy to point at Kevin De Bruyne, but Leroy Sané was taking Kevin Trippier to school every single time he got the ball. And so it makes it very easy. You switch the ball to Leroy Sané and say he's going to beat on a 1v1. Makes it easy for Aguero to make his run in the box because he knows that ball is coming across. When all those things are happening across the board, all over the field, it makes Manchester City unstoppable.
How good were they, Stevie?
It's about as good. You know, it's as good a performance as I've seen since a couple of years ago when we were all lauding how great Real Madrid were. That's how good they are. They have the potential to do what Real Madrid have been doing the last 4, 5, 6 years. You know, winning league titles, winning Champions League, winning World Club titles. This team is capable of that.
Simple as that.
Capable? Not yet.
And David Silva wasn't on the field.
Yep.
So you think, okay, maybe De Bruyne has a different role, and Gundogan comes in and has a different role. It doesn't matter. Right now, it doesn't matter. There are too many good individual performances for Manchester City that make them special. And you see 4-1 and say, well, it was dominant. 4-1 doesn't even begin to tell you how dominant it was.
Sure.
It could have and should have been worse. Had Raheem Sterling had a good afternoon finishing, he could have scored 4 goals by himself. Aguero did not have the afternoon that he wanted in terms of finishing. You're looking at a team that right now is playing at a level that makes everybody else look silly.
As a defender, when you're playing against a team, usually there's a couple of guys they have that have got pace. Or if they don't have pace, then they've got a brain. This team has got pace everywhere and brains everywhere. And as a defender, when you're up against that, you don't know whether to close the ball, whether to stand off. You don't know whether to run with your man or hold a position. You spend 90 minutes against a team like Manchester City in this sort of form, bamboozled. And that's exactly what Spurs were by the end. They may have scored a goal in the 92nd minute, but this game was way over a long time before that.
It's not only the outfield players, it's even Ederson.
Yeah.
His distribution of the ball. Are you kidding me? He's starting real counter-attacking opportunities with his passing. He can play it short. You can play it. He's an outfield player when he has the ball at his feet. He's that calm with the ball. And then he's able to, on one step, hit a ball over 60, 70 yards. It's the sort of stuff that you think, my goodness, you can work on that. But there's a natural ability there that he's making it perfect. And it allows Manchester City to play in different ways. They can go and play that ball over the top if they want to for a quick counter, or they can distribute out of the back and know that Ederson is another option coming out of the back.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a goalkeeper pass a ball over 70 yards as accurate and as clean as this guy does. And by the way, he didn't do it once in this game.
Yeah, it's the consistency.
He did it 3 times. Absolutely nailed it right on a dime over 50, 60 and 70 yards. I mean, my goodness.
Obviously,
I've never seen it ever before.
A lot of people already jumping to conclusions with this team. But Steve, you've obviously seen a lot of football. When it comes to entertainment value, is this the most entertaining team we've seen in English football?
Entertaining. I'm not going to turn around and say it is the most entertaining. I'd have to say it's the most entertaining I've seen for a long time.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Box office, I think. You just want to watch.
Can't wait. You cannot wait for them at the referee to blow the whistle to see what De Bruyne is going to do, to see what Mane's going to do. I mean,
Yeah, they're
it's
must watch.
scintillating.
They're must watch.
Yeah.
And so there are very few teams in the world that it doesn't matter who they're playing against that you'll sit down and watch just because that team is playing. And Manchester City's in that category now. It doesn't matter who they're playing because you know what they're going to give you, what they're going to provide, and it's must-watch TV. You can't say that about the other team in Manchester, by the way. But you can say it about Manchester City. And it's certainly something that I think for those of us that play the game, that it is so difficult to do what they're doing.
Right.
It's much easier to destroy, but to create and to do it in the manner that they do it, with the rhythm that they do it, it takes movement, individual movement, it takes team movement, understanding of what your job is and what somebody else's job is as well. It doesn't happen by accident. It comes from work, and you can see it from the work that is applied by very talented players. You see the results on the field.
And you know the one thing that we haven't mentioned? Every single one of them is having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Every single one of them is enjoying it.
Yeah.
And so it makes it easy to work hard. When you're enjoying yourself,
You can imagine they enjoy going to training every day.
you can't wait. Listen, when you play for a side that's winning, that's top of the league, everybody's talking about, you can't wait to get out the car and drive in.
And not only drive in, but hang out.
Right.
You stay there. You stay in the locker room. When things are not going well, people go in and they get out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, kids.
But when things are going well, people hang out. They have their meals. They have their recovery, whatever they need to do, and they like being around each other. And that in itself is something that only a few teams are able to accomplish.